Hello, you're back with Beatle. We are back on Survivor IO. Today we are going to revisit the Mega Challenge, the Farm Challenge, which I actually failed on the very last boss in one of my previous videos. This time we have the Epic Kunai, so I am hoping that with this we will be able to actually defeat the Mega Challenge. I think it was one of the bosses that killed us in the previous video. This time with the Kunai, obviously that is a bit better for bosses, so I'm hoping I can complete that. And I've also unlocked the Factory Challenge, so if I can complete this Farm Challenge easy enough, although I don't actually hold up much hope it will be easy, we will see if we can do the next one as well. But there we go. Energized, attack plus 20% at full HP, and mobs don't flinch. So it's important to try and stay at full HP, so I get that extra bonus of attack, and we'll just get the Guardian there as it's got the tech part. Level ups come quite quickly. We'll get the Molotov. I do actually remember in my previous attempt at this, the Molotov was actually very good, so I will stick with that as well. I've also got a bit of an aura around me. I'm not actually too sure what that is. I think that might be a perk from one of the things I have. I'll get the drone there, as the destroyer would obviously be very nice. Next level up here, I'll just get the HE fuel. So the HE fuel that actually does give range to the drones and the destroyer once I've got it, so that is pretty much essential. Obviously the Guardian as well. I'll get the experience gain so I can get the Kunai upgrade when we get that far, and obviously it does allow us to get the experience boost as well, which is always handy to get right near the start of the game as well. Leveling up to level 6 here, if I can just get that before the sort of hippo attacks as well. We'll get the Type B drone here, so we can definitely get the destroyer as soon as we get that far. The hippo went down quite quickly. I haven't actually seen a Kunai upgrade yet. It's not even in the lucky train, so quite an unlucky train you might say, but there is the HE fuel there as well. Got a lot of these big pigs coming at me, but it seems to be okay so far. Zombies incoming. From memory, I think we get to the first boss okay. There's the Kunai finally. Obviously it starts at level 2. That's one of the perks of it, being that epic rarity, or even excellent. I think he starts at level 2, but we've got it epic, so it has a bit of extra damage, and there's the Kunai again, so we'll get that to level 4. Nice. And yeah, we'll just keep moving as best we can, leveling up what we can. Do I want the lightning emitter or modular mine? What other weapon would be good? So you know what, I'm going to get the lightning emitter here, I think, as that is also quite good for bosses, as it just targets single enemies, and obviously when you're in the boss stage, it targets the boss, so I think that could be quite handy to have. And obviously once the destroyer is merged, we'll either try and get the drill or the brick. I think these cats seem easy enough, just sort of killed a few and let some of the gems build up, so hopefully I can get a few upgrades from that. We'll just get the scroll there as well. Might as well, if we've got the experience game, we might as well get it up towards the start of the chapter, so we can try and get as much of that as we can. Here we'll just get the lightning emitter leveled up as well. Not getting the sort of the most luck with the weapons that I have been able to choose. It would be nice to be able to upgrade the drones a bit more. They're quite low level. Obviously we have the first boss coming up, so Kunai or the drones, they're pretty much going to be doing 90% of all the damage to the boss, so it would be nice to be able to get those leveled up. Here's the drone, so we will click that as well. And here is the boss. It's at the 3-minute mark. I thought it was at the 5, but it is at the 3, so this mustn't be a 10-minute stage. I'm not too sure. You know what, I'm going to get this magnet, as there is also one above me. There we go, Spirit Shuriken already, so that will really help us out just in time for the boss. You can just see how much more damage I'm doing. I know my previous video of this, it just took so long to actually try and kill the bosses, but obviously the Spirit Shuriken is absolutely excellent against the bosses, so I'll gladly take that. And we actually get both of the drones upgraded there as well, obviously the lightning as well. I'll just try and let some of these gems build up, and then obviously I've got the magnet in there on the top right of the screen there. I'll get the Guardian upgraded a bit there. That's can be quite handy for the pushback. I think the Molotov is also, to be fair, all are probably going to be needed to be upgraded here. I'll get the drone. That's probably a bit more essential than the Molotov at this stage, but I do know that they're both pretty important in terms of just trying to survive. But I think our DPS is just about high enough that we don't really have to move too much, so I'll just let a few of these gems build up, and then I'll get the magnet. So far so good. Didn't have to move, but just as all those sort of elites and hippos come in, I thought I would just try and grab that magnet ASAP. We'll upgrade the drone there and the drone again, so now hopefully if we can get the white one, we can get the destroyer. I might get the oil bond here just so I at least have, in fact no, the Molotov's really low level, so I'm not near the evo of that. I'll get the Guardian up to level 3, I think now. Here I may as well get the Molotov, or do I get the energy cube? You know what, I'm going to get the energy cube just so I at least have that in my build ready to go, and here we'll get the Guardian. I'm just very conscious that cat elite is very close to me here. We'll get the drone. Hard to actually see what's going on here. I'll get the drone again, so that's very close to Evo. One more, and then we can get the destroyer. I'll get the lightning there, and there is the destroyer. So we thankfully get that. I think that we're still getting levels from the magnet. I think we did. There just seemed to be that many on the floor. Yeah, we're still actually getting them. I'll get the exo bracer just so we at least can upgrade the guardian as soon as we get that. In fact, just as I say that, we actually get that to level 5. So here we can get the I can't remember what it's called. What is it? The defender. The wheel of death certainly helps us out. It just changes massively. It doesn't actually disappear from the screen. I'm not too sure why the color is faded out. Usually it's a sort of a bright red color. I'm not actually too sure what's going on there. Zombies incoming. I think we're actually defending okay so far, and now we get the destroyer. As I said, we'll either get the drill or the brick. I think the drill is probably going to be better, so we'll get that, although both are pretty good. I just always feel a bit safer with the drill, and here we might as well now get the oil bond, I suppose, just so we can get the evo of the Molotov as and when we get that high enough, although I actually still think it's quite low level, but I think the build I've got here is really strong. I think the other passive I could get is either for the drill evo upgrade or just the attack upgrade, but here we'll get the drill to level 2, and we're just leveling up to level 31, so our levels are going up quite quickly. I can't remember if we should get the lightning upgrade. I guess we will find out in one of our next level ups, and we do. Supercell, perfect. Okay, so thundering destruction, hopefully that'll help us out both on the mobs and when the boss appears. But I think in order to do these mega challenges, the kunai is almost essential. It just seems, especially when you get further along, the bosses are the ones that just have the most HP, so being able to dodge whilst doing a lot of damage, the kunais are very essential there. Molotov was only level 1. Okay, let's get that leveled up, as previously that really did help us out. And I have just realized why the colors aren't so bright. I think I turned a setting off so it would help me be able to see. Next level up, let's just get the Molotov there to level 3, so slowly getting there. And obviously the fire isn't so bright. It was a setting in the settings. There's a commenter told me in one of my previous videos when I said it was getting a bit hectic and I couldn't really see what was going on. You can sort of turn down the colors so it's not as bright, which is what I've done. So it does actually help, I suppose. It's not as sort of overbearing the colors, so it does help me see. And here we'll get the Molotov to level 4 and the drill to level 4. Perfect. Okay, and the drill to level 5. I must have got a lot of levels there. I'm not too sure. Did we get a magnet? I didn't actually see that, but I guess we did. But here's the second to last boss. This from memory was where it was really hard. There's actually 2 as well. They just do a lot of damage, but I think having the kunai really does help, because you can just stand quite far away, whereas even when you're using the light chaser, you have to be quite close to them, and that's where they can do the damage. So having the kunai is a really good idea when you're in the mega challenge. And there is a chest and a magnet. I'm going to try and get the chest without getting the magnet. There we go, managed it, which was a surprise because they're so close together, but there we'll just get the experience gain. And you know what, I'm actually going to have to get the magnet. Did I die? I didn't die. I did now. Okay. Yeah, okay, I did die. I thought I didn't know what was going on there. There was a bat. It's still hard to see, even with the sort of setting turned on where things are not quite as bright. You still sort of struggle to see, but I've just managed to kill that bat now, so hopefully we'll be able to survive a bit longer. I think I still get 3 lives left with if I die again. So that first revive was just the perk of having my body armor. Let's get the Molotov there, and then the next deaths I can revive up to 3 times. I think hopefully I won't need that. I think I pretty much used all of the revives on the last boss. So hopefully we actually managed to do a bit more damage. Here, obviously, I'm going to get the fuel barrel, but for the next passive, I can either get this high-powered bullet or the upgrade for the drill. I think I'd probably try and get the high-powered bullet, just because I think the kunai and the destroyer are going to be the ones doing the damage rather than the drill. That might be the best way, but obviously we'll see how lucky I get in the upgrades. If it is the drill evo upgrade, then it is what it is. Hopefully it's one of them, though. Now, there is an elite coming to me. Hopefully I can destroy him before he actually gets that close to me. I can't, but you can just see how much HP they have. I'm going to have to get the ammo thruster. You know what, do I dare refresh and see what I'm going to refresh? And it actually gave me the high-powered bullet. The other 2 stayed the same. They must be the only sort of 4 that I haven't got. So we'll get the attack upgrade. I think that is probably going to be for the best, and we'll get the attack there again, because it makes a massive difference. You know, we've already got 30% more damage, so that will definitely help out the kunai and the destroyer. And here we get the chest, get on the lucky train, and we'll just take the next 3 passes. But pretty much we are near enough fully leveled up now, so it's just a case of trying to survive and see out to the final boss. You can see here, I suppose, why I quite like using the Molotov when it's the sort of up and down chapters, just because every single enemy has to go through the Molotov blue fire, especially when it's evo upgraded, and it just seems to do a lot of damage. I didn't even see me die.
I don't see much of nothing. As a matter of fact, I can't even see you, sir.
Maybe I'm just blind sometimes, because I honestly didn't see that coming at me, but we'll easily get the revive and hopefully manage to survive here. I'll get that magnet, hopefully get a few levels and give me a bit of a breather. I'll get the attack cooldown. I think I will need all of these upgrades. I'll get the attack plus another 10% and we'll get on the chest. And we must be coming up to the end of my upgrades in general. I'm not too sure what more there is that can actually help me out damage wise, but there's the energy cube which will. Other than that, I think we're relatively close to sort of being absolutely full now. I think we've just got 30 more seconds and we'll have the final boss, or maybe it's the 10-minute one. But with 2 more revives left, I think I'll just pay a lot more attention to if there is an elite running at me, as that seems to be the only time that I actually do die. So we've got the HE fuel only level 2, so that is actually a really good one that we can still upgrade. That will increase the range of pretty much everything. I think the Spirit Shuriken probably isn't affected by that, but certainly the Destroyer is, the Guardian, and the Molotov Fire will be. And there is a butterfly running at me right now, whilst there's the pigs are running down, but thankfully we do manage to kill that. But there is a lot of enemies still running at me, so hopefully we can still make it through this. They're just about dying before they get to me. I can just about manage to stand still. It's difficult to know what the best sort of play is. Usually it is just to stand still, as your damage is sort of 360 around you. I'm just trying to move to one side, so there's sort of less area that the enemies can actually come at me. But last 30 seconds before the final boss, and we're just about surviving. And we'll just pick up that bomb for the last 10 seconds, but there's still loads of enemies. There are actually 2 bombs on the other side. I'll get the last of the HE fuel there, but I think I will run towards these bombs, as that will hopefully give me that last bit of relief before the boss. And here we go, so we're on the final boss. This is what killed me last time. I will get the bomb because it does actually do damage to them, not a lot, but it does do something. And this is why I quite like having the kunai, as I can literally just focus completely on running away from any damage. As I say that, this is what actually killed me last time, so hopefully I can actually complete this. Maybe I just need to actually continue to move. Last revival, good grief, this is so much harder than I thought it would be. Yeah, I'm just going to continue running. Yep, so that just happened, but here we are again. We'll give it another go. This time I have the Death Ray as opposed to the Guardian. That is literally the only difference in this run. I've already died twice to get to this stage, but I'm hoping I will give it another chance. As I say, if I just carry on running around, it's just so hard to actually try and do this. But maybe I should get the football shoes so you run fast, but we'll see. If I don't do it this time, last revival, then I will try again with the football boots. Come on, their HP is so low now. What more do I need to do? Come on, 1 is down. This might make it a lot more possible. The sort of red things on the floor don't actually do too much damage, and there we have it. Finally, took me 2 attempts, and let's just have a look at the damage here. Fuel barrel, interestingly, had the most. Wow, okay, so really happy with that. Spirit Shuriken only 11%. This has actually absolutely surprised me. Even the supercell had more damage, and the drill shot had 26, and that wasn't even evoed. So kind of baffled at that, really. As I say, everything else was the same other than the Death Ray and the Guardian. Even the passives were the same in the run that you just watched. But yeah, really interesting what the damages are there. I thought the Spirit Shuriken would be a lot higher, but there we have it. I mean, fuel barrel, drill shot, destroyer suit, I mean, they're all really good there. But finally we have actually done the farm challenge, mega challenge, and we can actually unlock some of these rewards. There it is. So we get 200 gems, the gold key, and one of the sort of frame things. But yeah, glad we finally managed to do that, even if it did take 2 attempts. But I was going to say the kunai is absolutely essential, but only 11%. Maybe it isn't, but there we have it. Glad I managed to at least do that. Next one we'll be giving the factory challenge a go, but maybe I'm not quite ready for that given the performance of the farm challenge, but we'll see. If you have got this far, do like and subscribe. It really does help me out, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Cheers.